Howdy do, y'all. This is John, and today we are talking about The First Omen, a new movie just released in theaters, and is the prequel to The Omen. And in The First Omen, it deals with this young nun who recently enters this nunnery and is practicing to become an official nun of the Catholic Church. When all of a sudden she starts to uncover this conspiracy within this one little church that may have something to do with them trying to birth the Antichrist, because they're not real Christians, to put it lightly. And like I said, this is a prequel to The Omen, a movie from the 1970s that has become a classic. So if you know how that movie begins, you know how this movie ends, unfortunately. Which is kind of sad, but hey, that's what you do. That's what happens with prequels. And to be quite honest, this is one of those situations where I walked in with low expectations and then walked out going, well, that actually wasn't bad. First of all, the lead actress, you know, I'm going to look her up real quick, because Nell Tiger Free, I don't know why her name is that, but Nell, she plays the lead character, Margaret, who is the nun I mentioned, or at least the young woman training to be a nun. And she is very good in this film. Nell has to convey a young woman who is going through this really terrible situation and portray her in a fashion that is likable and also makes you root for her. Makes you root for her trying to stamp out this conspiracy and prevent the birth of the Antichrist, even though, again, if you've seen The Omen, you know how this is going to go. The Antichrist is going to be born no matter what happens. And not only that, but her character is also really well written. She is a strong, determined nun trying to prevent this horrible situation from happening. But she also kind of has her own problems as well. She may have a mental illness or something like that, because she hallucinates stuff. So you have that conflicting with her trying to prevent, like I said, the Antichrist from being born. And she is one of only a few people noticing the signs. I also thought that the storytelling and the direction were also very well handled. The narrative, the route that it takes, yes, it goes some of the routes you would expect if you've seen the First Omen movie. It leads to what The Omen begins with. However, they're also able to add in some other stuff that also, if you think about it, is pretty much in line with the continuity of the original movie. Doesn't offend it in any way, shape, or form. It just adds things to it without hurting that continuity. And also the direction of the movie is executed very well. The lady who directed this movie, I have no idea how to pronounce her name, so I'm not even going to try. This is her first ever movie. She did a bunch of TV before this. And unlike whoever the heck made Madam Web, she was ready to handle something like this. This did not feel like a made-for-TV movie. This felt like an actual movie. There is a lot of effective horror in it. There's also this thing regarding the mother of the Antichrist that I was able to pick up right then and there. That is the identity of who she is. I was able to figure out instantly. And that's quite a shame, because they make a big deal about trying to figure out who she is. When they figure out who she is, you already know it. And it just bogs down the impact of the whole situation. The last thing I wanted to touch on is the ending is abrupt. Because it's abrupt, and it leads off to a sequel, but really that only sequel should be the original Omen. I don't know why they ended it the way they did, but it happened. Guys, in conclusion, The First Omen, it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't a bad movie. It had its problems. There are some more stuff that I could touch on, but at the end of the day, this is all the stuff that matters the most about the movie. The movie's got some solid storytelling. The execution is pretty strong. The acting's good. The main character is well written. Just had a few real issues with the film. That was it. I'm going to give The First Omen a 7. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, please remember, the Budgetski will return.